Well, for the last few years, well, 3.5 years, I have sort of been a fan of the anime series My Hero Academia. I've seen, well, two of its films, but now it's been three. And well, I can't believe it's been 5 years since the first My Hero Academia film got a limited release, even after premiering in LA. Well, prepare yourselves as I review My Hero Academia Two Heroes. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Noel, better known to as the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2018 Japanese animated superhero flick, My Hero Academia Two Heroes. Released by Toho and produced by Bones. This, of course, is based on an original story featuring the characters from the manga series My Hero Academia, which I soon became a fan of the anime series. I've never actually had to ever looked at the manga before. It features a big ensemble cast. Can't really pronounce all their names though. But anyway, the film takes place between the final exams and the forced training camp story arcs of the manga. Izuku accompanies Toshinori Yagi, aka All Might, Nazuku, aka Deku, is visiting. Well, he's accompanying All Might in visiting his old friend at Eye Island when villains attack the artificial moving island. This film was released in released in LA on July 5th, 2018, and then a month later in Japan. But on this day, 5 years ago, it got a limited release in the US and Canada for 1 week only. I wasn't familiar with the series yet until the second film came out, which was Heroes Rising, which was released the following year. But I didn't get to see it until 2020. Unfortunately, right at the time the pandemic was starting to occur. Anyway, we start out with a flashback showing a young All Might as an exchange student in California dealing with two villains who have robbed a casino. Aided by his classmate and friend David Shield, who eventually becomes a scientist and works with him to design many of his suits. In the present, All Might brings Izuku with him to Eye Island. That's a moving, floating sea island. After getting an invitation from David's daughter Melissa to surprise her father. After the reunion, David runs a test with All Might and learns about his nearly depleting quirk, which of course that's his superpower, what they call superpower in the series. Becoming horrified as he believes that All Might will not be able to keep his role as a symbol of peace. Meanwhile, Melissa shows Midoriya around the island and they run into Midoriya's classmates from Class 1A who were invited to the island for various reasons. After enjoying the island's events, Melissa invites them to join a formal party being held with all heroes present. Before going to the party, Melissa reveals to Midoriya that she's quirkless, surprising him, before she gives him a full gauntlet that allows him to fully use his quirk without getting hurt. Meanwhile, Wolfram, a terrorist who had secretly arrived on the island, takes control of the island's security system during the party and threatens to kill its residents. He restrains all of the attending heroes, including All Might, and takes David and his assistant Samuel Abraham hostage to break into the island's vault. Izuku, Melissa, and the rest of Class 1A at the party manage to evade the attackers and they decide to save the hostages by reaching the top of the building and deactivating the security system. Discovering their presence, Wolfram well, tries to stop them by deploying forces, forcing the group to be split up as they deal with the villains and security bots. Eventually, Izuku and Melissa are the only ones left who manage to climb to the top. At the top of the tower, they discovered that David and Samuel orchestrated the night's events. They had hired fake villains to cause a distraction in order to retrieve their greatest invention, a headset that maximizes the power of a person's quirk, which had been confiscated and sealed away by the project sponsors. David wishes to give it to All Might so that he can maintain his role as the symbol of peace. However, Wolfram arrives and reveals that he is a real villain hired by Samuel to retrieve the headset for himself. He steals it and attempts to kill Samuel and Melissa, but David and Izuku save them. I'm going to give you the ending now, so you better stop this video immediately and fast forward to the time below. But as I count down, if you've seen the movie already, if you have, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Wolfram holds off Izuku, kidnaps David, and escapes to the rooftop. Izuku fails to prevent Wolfram from taking off in a helicopter with David, but Melissa takes control of the security system and frees the heroes. All Might reaches the roof and stops the helicopter from escaping. Wolfram then uses the quirk amplification device to amplify his power, creating a giant metal body with David trapped inside. He overpowers All Might and reveals that he is secretly in league with All Might's nemesis, All for One, who gave Wolfram an additional quirk and wanted to be involved to demoralize All Might. Lacking the strength to defeat Wolfram alone, All Might asks for Izuku's aid. The rest of the students soon arrive on the roof and help All Might and Izuku, who combine their powers to defeat Wolfram and free David. As the sun rises, All Might and David reflect on how Melissa and Izuku are the next generations of heroes and how the world will be in good hands even after All Might's quirk is gone. End of story. So what did I think of My Hero Academia 2 Heroes? Well, after watching it a second time, since I only watched it one time, but I decided to watch it again for its anniversary, I figure after giving it a second watch, I'm going to say it's good. I mean, well, it doesn't have that much of the heroes I've seen in the later films, but I will say that they still provide a lot of good action, what have you. Just like what you could see on the actual anime series, or if you've actually read the manga series. I mean manga. Sorry, I pronounce it manga. It's manga. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. Now, of course, I've seen the film dubbed in English, so that's good and what have you. Of course, it has all the voices and what have you. So I don't give all the voices, but I will say that I liked their performances and what have you. And it did pretty well here in the U.S., going on to make 33 million, which that was still good and what have you. The film went on to win the Crunchyroll Anime Award for Best Film, and received nominations at the IGN Awards and New Type Anime Awards. Now I'm going to say it still did pretty good. When it opened, it made 2.6 million in 3 days when it opened, becoming Funimation's third highest grossing licensed film behind Your Name. So that was good and what have you. I'm going to say it was very good. And it's one of the few films that has the 100% just standard fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, not certified fresh, because it only has a mere 8 reviews. The LA Times described the film as a high-energy blend of heroism, comedy, friendship, and take no prisoners battles, and keeping the character likable and believable, while saying for Deku, voiced by Justin Briner. Of course, that's dubbed in English. The Anime News Network graded the film an A-, and what have you. Well, for the involvement of one of the people in the film's development to capture the tone and worldview of his world, the film's delivery of the strong action and character of its source material. I agree and what have you. I thought it was pretty good and what have you. But anyway, I didn't get to see his first because I got to see the other two films. Of course, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising came out the following year in 2019, but it didn't get released in North America until 2020. Unfortunately, of course, that was right about the time, almost close to the time the pandemic even occurred. But I was lucky to have gone to see that. And of course, last year I saw the third film, World Heroes Mission, which I've already reviewed. And I'm going to try and do a review of the next film. I could have sworn I already reviewed the second one, but I might be wrong. So I may do it later on. But I'm going to say it was very good and what have you. So anyway, I think the story was good. I think the characters were good. Even their voice actors were good in the dubbed in English version. And Yuki Hayashi's score for this was good too. So, anyway, I really liked him, what have you. So, it did pretty well, and I really got to enjoy it and becoming a bit of a bigger fan of the anime. So, anyway, what did you think of this? Well, but first of all, would I recommend My Hero Academia 2 Heroes? I would say sure, go ahead. If you're a hardcore fan of My Hero Academia, then a one-time watch will do it all right. And if you're hooked on it, then good. Go for it and watch some more of this. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. If you are a hardcore fan of My Hero Academia, then this would be right up your alley. So, what did you think of My Hero Academia 2 Heroes? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a TV log revisit. This time I'm going to hopefully get a revisit TV log when I talk about one of my favorite 80s tunes once again, but in a bigger way, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So be ready for it. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for these other two anime films. In the upper left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission, the previous film. Now I haven't heard. I've read there's a fourth film in the works. Or go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review of another anime film I saw last year, and that was Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which that definitely could use some views. I got a feeling this has not gotten a single view since the day I put it up last year. Guys, help me out and see that review, please. Alright, enough said. Or if you would like maybe, I don't know, something maybe just a little more intenser and what have you, with a little superhero feel to it. Well, if you'd like another superhero flick, you can go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my special re-review of one of the great films of the MCU, The Avengers from 2012. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.